And also, I refuse to floss my teeth or let the water run through my cheeks in the shower. You too can be cured of the woke mind virus if you just believe.
Make it stop! Oh. Listen, folks, I don't normally make these kind of videos, but when you have an insufferable banshee from either IGN or Kotaku having a go, sending legal action against one of us, it is our job to stand together like Gerard Butler and his crew of 300 to fight back, because honestly, the more good men of culture that there are of us all together, we band, we stand, we fight, and we put the insufferable women down where they belong. Well, working in McDonald's after a failed attempt to get rid of us from our livelihoods. Now, of course, I'm not in that bracket yet, but who knows? If my channel gets bigger as well as my biceps, well, you never know, do you? According to recent news reports, Miss Sydney Sweeney's boobs aren't really that big. Well, between you and me, I breast to differ. And with that tomfoolery out of the way, here's today's episode.
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Now, before I get on with today's video, folks, which will be comprised of 2 stories, I just want to thank all the people who have sent me super chats in the last few days and weeks. And of course, did not mean to ignore you because YouTube didn't tell me I received anything. So thanks to Captain Rhodes, Erica Curly 4877 and her again, Larin 2344, Matthew Wibbard 9807, Aganamagon, oh my word, it's 6624, and Erica yet again. So obviously got a fan in Erica, and I thank you very much, Miss Curly. So just a quick thanks, but unfortunately, folks, we've got to talk about something dark, dirty, and absolutely disgusting. Yes, that's right, it's Alyssa Mercante, because you can't say Mercante without saying Gareth Hunt or even Cupid Stunt. And if you can work out those particular slangs akin to British comedy, then let me know in the comment section below. So I have to tippy-toe with this reaction. I don't normally do these type of reactions where I look at a fellow content creator who's in a bit of dire straits, but I feel that Jeff Tarzia, aka Smash JT, is something of a friend to me, someone of a friend to me. Why on earth would I say that Jeff Tarzia is an inanimate object that slapped me in the face once and slapped me in the face twice? But wow, I mean, I thought I made some crazy thumbnails, but look at this one. I mean, incoming, yeah. That's about the size of it, bub.
That we were past all this. I thought that maybe time had gone by and people had thought better of it and we'd move on with our lives. But apparently that's not the case. And Alyssa Mercante has now sent an official cease and desist from her lawyer about how I need to apologize for things I've said to her because they're defamatory in nature.
Right, so just to give you guys and gals a bit of context out there, Alyssa Mercante from Kotaku sent Jeff Tarzia, aka Smash JT, a cease and desist letter. Why? Because he talks about her from information she has published publicly in Twitter, on Kotaku, well actually not on Kotaku, but on other platforms out there for everybody to see. Alyssa's even on TikTok for some godforsaken reason. But when I look at this letter here, I mean, first of all, I'm pretty sure if you're a big shot lawyer, you would actually have a letterhead on your page. Why is this missing that for some bizarre reason? I have no idea. And it's in Times Roman numeral font, which is the default de facto text you use when you send a letter of doom to your client. I don't know how the American law system is when it comes to formulating a letter, but in the UK, it would be Dear Jeff or Dear Mr. Tarzia, blah, 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 the next paragraph. You know what I mean? So again, using that font is a bit egregious. Your defamation or defecation, as it should be, and harassment of our client, Alyssa. Look, we can't stop calling her name in praise. It's so ridiculous. So we write to you today as counsel for her. You have made unlawfully harassing or defamatory statements about Alyssa. We are writing to request that you voluntarily retract them and publish an apology, the language of which we will suggest to you before we pursue other legal avenues against you. So Jeff obviously points this out next in his video, but to give you my own 2 cents about this, if you're asking someone if you're asking you, the client, Jeff, to apologize, and we're going to script it for you, this is exactly what they do in mainstream media, right? They'll give actors and actresses a piece of paper. You're going to say nice things about the film or TV show you filmed for us, but say all these nice bullet points and you'll get an extra bonus at the end of the month so your cats don't starve. These lawyers are a bunch of shysters. They really are. I don't care about using that terminology because that's how they come off. Crooked, uncaring, lack of compassion, no apathy for the job. That's just what they want to do to ruin you and your livelihood.
To request that you voluntarily retract them and publish an apology, the language of which we will suggest to you before we pursue other legal avenues against you, which right there is a threat that they plan on taking more action against me if I don't remove statements and apologize to her.
Now listen, Jeff, just give them the language that they will truly understand. That, right? Yep. Like I'll do to Yves Guillemot when I see him from Ubisoft. Put a finger up his French derriere.
Alyssa has never come forward stating that she has engaged in the conduct you claim. There is a gulf between solo nude modeling and...
Yeah, so the funny thing is, Alyssa, or I think Jeff has probably censored certain words here, but she's a proclaimed adult worker. So before she got hooked up with Kotaku, she liked to, how shall we say, she was very fond of frankfurters. I used to like frankfurters, but I can't go near those things anymore because I'll think about Alyssa Mercante wrapping her mouth around one of those big type of sausage entities from Germany, right? So why on earth would I ever go near those again? By the way, very funny point I've got to mention here as well, because you've heard about the Al Fayed situation and Harrods and how all these women are now crawling out to the woodwork saying that egregious, horrible looking little man would definitely carry out Jeff Epstein type activities with them in the 80s onward. And why it's taking them so long to even do that boggles the mind, right? But if Alyssa Mercante has subjected maybe unwilling male participants with her orgies of frenzy, okay, maybe those guys should then come out and say how they were subjected to horrific things from Miss Mercante. But you know what would happen, right? In the court of public opinion, oh, you men are whining about being Me Too'd, but when women say it, it's absolutely A-okay. Why should we believe men like you? So it's a bit of a double standard, right? When the women say it, they absolutely have to be believed. And of course, I'm not dismissing that every single woman is coming out with a fake story. But again, with these alleged victims of Miss Mercante, I really wonder if this will be a bit of a blowback or a back blow. It sounds rude either way I say it, folks.
Such that Alyssa would not have to plead special damages for a court to find her claim had merit, because your statements both suggest that she has committed a crime and tend to injure her in her field of...
Yeah, Alyssa Mercante has committed the crime of actually being born. Yes, I'm going to say that. I don't care. It's like when one of my subscribers or a random corrected me on Ghosts of Yotai is actually Yotei. Why can't you say Yotei? It's the same thing when we say Yasuke and not Yasuke. What's the difference, bub? There's absolutely none whatsoever. But yes, point taken, I'll say Yotei because who gives a shit these days anyway? Oh my god.
Come fight me. Physically.
And this wet blanket on the right hand side is Ethan Gatch, the same guy who went after Saber Interactive over a week ago to try to get them to confess, maybe waterboarding style, that indeed Matthew Karch was the man behind that commentary on the Asmongold video about making video games great again. That same wet blanket right here, this big pussy boy right here.
Bitch.
You really gonna go there, Lane? Do you know your client? In addition, since you made the first defamatory statement on March 30th, 2024, the average number of views on your YouTube videos have gone from 1 or 2,000 to tens or even hundreds of thousands
how dare
of views
he?
each. Interesting. So my only reason why people watch my channel is because I covered Alyssa a couple times, and everything else I talk about has nothing to do with her, but because...
Now, funny enough, what I think about this is because Jeff and other YouTubers are getting mass audiences. It's something that Kotaku is desperate to have again to stay absolutely relevant. And guess what? It ain't gonna happen because people don't take Kotaku, Polygon, and even IGN seriously anymore. Why should they? Carry on, Jeffrey.
Because of her is why I'm making any views and getting people to subscribe to me. That's quite the leap, Lane. Courts of...
Yeah, it's because it's the whole Paul Tassi situation with Star Wars Theory. Because Theory mentioned his articles in a video, but did not attach the link in his video for viewers to go on over to Paul Tassi. Tassi started to cry. He's like, no one's reading my articles. Paul Tassi's got his own YouTube channel. He could put it on there for crying out loud instead of talking about Destiny 2 for the upteenth time.
Alright, I'm back with another Destiny video.
You know what's really funny about all of this? When you look at the letter, the cease and desist letter that Jeff has in his hand, right? What's really funny, they're implying that their client, Alyssa Mercante, is a very deviant woman of the night. I'm going to phrase it that way. They're defending that reputation, which she may or may not have. And it's like, yeah, you're calling our client the W word. It starts with W, and it's you know what? You're calling our client an HAW. That's what I'm going to say. That sounds, I can get away with that. You're calling her that. No, she's actually called herself that, and she's proud of it. The woman is absolutely certifiably insane. I think if Arkham Asylum was a real thing, they let her out far too early.
Those aren't in here. No linking to private information, never done that, and certainly no encouraging others to take actions that reasonably make her feel threatened. Always tell people not to do that. Harass. The fuck does my family have to do with this? How dare you bring that into this letter? How unprofessional could you be as a lawyer?
Wow, seeing Jeff losing it on his videos is a very funny thing to watch. It's not funny in this case, but I just like the fact that he's just raw and unfiltered. Jeff, what I would do is to have taken the letter, rubbed it on your hiney, and then put it on your camera screen and say, hey lawyers, this is for you. Jesus Christ. I mean, this law firm is a joke. They sent a similar letter before, I believe, and it's the same nonsense that they spew. It's like they copy and paste their previous texts do a few things here and there, fail to spell check because they use the word facially rather than factually. Gee, I wonder what they were thinking of at the time. Maybe they were watching an adult movie on their other laptop and they suddenly put that in by mistake. I mean, Freudian slip? I think not. But honestly, I think Jeff will have no problem winning this case. I mean, the guy's pissed, and rightly so. I know Jeff made a mocking comment in here about having a sleepless night and how it's affected his relationships. That's obviously a false narrative because I follow Jeff on Twitter X. He's having a whale of a time with his lovely wife in the vineyards of California and obviously hanging out with his kids and teaching them the right way to play a video game and what nonsensical video games to absolutely avoid. But all this cancellation culture took me to another story that I really couldn't make a sole video on because it would be a very short video, but the second season of One Piece is undergoing production right now, but people are losing their minds over the casting of All Miss Sunday or Nika Robin, if you know what I mean. So people have been resharing tweets about the fact that the actress who's playing her is Russian. But she, although she's of Russian descent, she lived in Germany since she was 13. But people are losing their minds on Twitter because, oh no, she's got Russian descendancy. We can't have that in a very diverse TV show based on an anime or a manga. Oh my, it's both actually, isn't it? The real Nika Robin is a Russian woman. Oh my effing god, you people are literal idiots. So Vanya, who I'm going to guess, by the way, is a robot account. 21 injured, including 3 children in Kharkiv today. But Netflix is letting an actress whose country, and by the way, whose is actually WHOSE, is currently committing that G word to play a character that's literally a survivor of that G word again. The real Nika Robin would hate this, except she's not real. That's the irony. I kind of like that. What's this other cope here? Casting a Russian actress as Nika Robin in the popular show One Piece, whose family was killed by terror, feels particularly inappropriate given Russia's current role as a T-state. There's still time to fix this, Netflix. You must get rid of her. And who is the actress they're getting mad about? It's this lovely lady here called Lyra Abova, who, by the way, has not gone out on social media and attacked anybody. In fact, the one good thing I can say about the One Piece cast, they've not done that. You know, Emily Rudd, she said nothing. Craig Fairbrass hasn't said anything. But it's so ridiculous that instead of actually supporting somebody who's getting the role of a lifetime, you want to bring her down. If you want to see what I'm talking about, it's this lovely lady right here. Look at her. I think she's gorgeous. She's a perfect fit, actually.
Mr. Zero, played by the one and only Joe Manganiello.
Yep, who actually left Sophia, what's her name again? Sofia Vergara, who used to have big knockers out there, and now they're all the way down there because I guess she didn't want to have kitties with Mr. Manganiello right here.
I'm very lucky because sitting here between the two of you, like, you are the perfect people.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind swapping places with this gentleman right now to sit next to Miss Abrova. Again, I mean, the character of Nika Robin is a rather busty lady, and I'm not quite sure if Miss Abrova fills those requirements, but maybe with some false implants and everything else, she could be absolutely ravishing. So my message to Miss Abrova is ignore, is it Abrova or Abova? I'm going to get massacred in the, it's Abova. So Miss Abova, sorry for killing your surname there. She should just do what she does best. Just do what you do, film, ignore the haters out there, because this is going to be a similar thing with what Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot will be experiencing next year when that Snow White film comes out, right? Where it's all going to be about politics and not about the movie. Because, of course, if you're not clued up, my lovely audience, Gal Gadot is Israeli born. She lives in that country. Rachel Zegler is not born in that country, but has taken the opposing side. So it's going to be quite interesting when they go on the press tour circuit next year, if those politics will come up and ruin Snow White. Because I do want to go watch that film to have a good old googly gander laugh at the expense of Disney. And yeah, I might not actually pay for it. I'll go to see one movie and then sneak into the theater afterwards and watch Snow White, which will be absolutely a big boss move. But One Piece Season 2... yeah, we're going to be cancelling an actress whose fault it's not that her birth country decided to attack another country, and now she's getting smacked on. Why? You don't need to do that. Leave Lena alone. She's done nothing to you. She's done nothing to me. And I think she'll be absolutely fantastic in the role as Miss All Sunday. Anyway, folks, if you were me, and if I were you might want to return for the next video, whose thumbnail will even make your pulses run more deeper than my orifices below.
Tune in next time, Space Freaks, and hear your doobry go ping in the next gripping installment of
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Dream of me. I'll make your dreams come true. Everything's possible with me.